Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm going to call to order the December meeting of the Traverse Rose Planning Commission. This was holidays are a busy time, so we thank y'all for everybody for that showed up tonight. Roll call. We can start with Eric here.
Evan Cantrell.
Rebecca Cooper.
Diane Maxwell.
Ben Kolsuski.
Thank you. And we were emailed our minutes today at this time, or earlier at this time. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the October 24th meeting.
Approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, right hand. Opposed, like sign. First order of business is TR 22-03 RZ. Rembry Custom Home requests the approval of a minor change for the final development plan and statement of intent for property located at street known as the Refuge.
Thank you, Chair. So this is, we had a case like this last month. It's the exact same case here. So what this deals with is we're handling it as a minor change to a flexible review district to be able to use roll curbs instead of standard curbs. As is the case with the previous months, in this case, at the entrance to the subdivision where there are no driveways, it would still be standard curbed, keep that clean look to it. But where there are driveways connecting into the roads, we're going to go with roll curb to keep from having to remove the standard curb and then replace with an apron when driveways are put in and incur extra costs. It's not necessary to the development. And so I can run through any questions you might have, or if you have any questions for the applicant who is here. But I think there was a picture I had provided that was from Pine Stone, if we scroll down. And if you remember, it's really small. That's in there that just shows how a standard curb is having to be removed and then replaced, and it leaves that blank asphalt edge. It's not a very good construction technique. So if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them, or I can have the applicant answer them as well.
Questions?
So this is just at the entrance, the two entrances?
At the entrance, there would be a standard curb, but then wherever there's road with driveways on it, it would be roll curb. So where it ties into the existing neighborhood, it will be roll curb in that location, but that neighborhood has roll curb as well, so it'll match what they have.
Other question I had was, there were a couple of few things highlighted on what you sent. The number of homes, the parking one in the driveway, and then some other language. Were those added or addressed?
They were not additions to. Quite honestly, I do not know why they were highlighted. They are just the information sheet from the refuge, and there's no reason, there was no changes to that information.
Any other questions? Flexible Review District. All those in favor, right hand. Opposed, like sign. Thank you. All right. Second item is TR 24-04. The Woodlands at Furman requests a zoning amendment for property located at 1500 Trailhead Court from R15 to RM. And here,
Yeah, thanks, Chair. This breaks down to a simple case. What we had is when Furman University was annexed, the Woodlands already existed at that time. At that time, in essence, what they're about to go to is an H shape, but at that point they were like a U, and the assisted living was already on the site. When the first leg of the H, which I guess made it into like the number 4, came in, there was a document that said, hey, this is a legal non-conforming use. I'm not sure if that was before our current code was accepted, but even though this is a legal non-conforming use, when the addition, which would make it the H, came in, our code specifically says that you can have a legal non-conforming use, but it cannot be expanded, either the building or the land use. And so in this case, it seemed wisest to go ahead and rectify the situation and bring it into conformity by changing the zoning to RM. And so in the RM classification, they will still be held to the conditions of residential multifamily. And so the building, the architecture, and everything that goes along with it will be reviewed conditionally for the approval of the facility at RM.
Everybody understand? Questions?
On the, on the sheet that you handed to us, the 2024 aerial, you've got a red box. Is that,
The red
not
box
what you
is
just
where the
explained.
addition would be. And to say a little bit about it, what it is going to be is it will be the same height as the rest of the building is now. Technically, it will only be connected to the facility with there'll be a connector between them, but it'll be a freestanding building. It will have a parking garage below it on the lower side. If you've been out there, it's higher on one side and lower on the other side, so there will be parking underneath. For your benefit, we have spoken to fire and emergency to make sure that we meet all the qualifications of what needs to happen in the height, which the RM zoning allows the height that is there.
This is expansion on independent living?
It is the independent living, so it would be reviewed as apartments. Inside that, there will also be, but correct me if I'm wrong, you can come up and, so I think there's a library. Correct. That's coming in as well. And then after the request was made, there was a discussion of a dog park for the residents that might occur as well. All of these are allowed within RM, so all these situations would be rectified as this came into conformity. And this is Donald. I want to introduce him and let him speak a little bit about it, if that's all right.
I'm Donald Lilly. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at the Woodlands at Furman. We're a nonprofit CCRC retirement community, and I'm sure you all know where we're located. Simply what we're looking to do is add 22 new apartments to the current property. Our property has 174 apartments on it currently, so this will be a fairly small addition as per apartments. But we're also looking to add some amenities to the space as we continue to see people transition through their lifetime. They want different things, and one of those is a newer library. Previously, we added a fitness center, and one of the things right now, we have about 30 dog owners, and they really would love to have a dog park. We have a small space we feel like we can do that in as well. But to Jay's point, we're simply trying to put the zoning to the correct way. We always assumed it was zoned RM until we submitted for this, and then we were told, wait a second, that's not accurate. And on that parcel that they had pointed out, all of that is either independent living apartments, assisted living, skilled nursing, so it's no single-family homes on that piece of property.
Are you all still operating with a waiting list?
Yes, about 300 people.
Wow.
So we're telling people right now, if you put your name on the waiting list right now, we might be able to help you in 3 to 5 years. These 22 units may help a little bit, but not really all that much against a waiting list of 300. But if you also look at the map, we're pretty much landlocked after this. There's no additional property on that site where we could add additional apartments. So this is probably as big as this space is going to get. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's very kind.
There's no thought about across the street, across Road Ford, there's no thought of asking Furman to donate that land for additional space?
There's absolutely that thought. Now, Furman has other ideas about that space, I believe, per our conversations with them. As we said, you know, that, I could get really deep into the silver tsunami that's coming, and the number of retirees is 12,000 new people a day that are hitting 65 and older. But we also have an idea in mind as to how big we think we need to be. And all we really want to be is large enough to be sustainable into the future as a single site nonprofit community. We do not want to be part of some large conglomerate that's based out of somewhere else. We like the fact that our board of trustees are mostly from the Greenville area and still live here. And so that number is a little bit past this 22 units, so we might ask for a little bit additional property, but it wouldn't be the entire property there. And as I said, right now, I think Furman has some different ideas about that space.
Furman has had, for several years, they've looked at a master plan of the additional spaces that they have around the area and how they would be best used. And there's been any number of uses that have been thrown out across time. I will say that one of the major constrictions to the area north of Ford Road is sewer. And prior to and currently, it is zoned I-1. So any of those things that occurred specifically on Furman Foundation property, because it's not part of Furman University and educational. So with it being higher education, there's a lot of things that occur. Like they have dining halls, they have residential halls, they have education space or meeting halls. In this case, with it being the foundation, whatever they bring forth would have to come through, be zoned appropriately, and have all those utilities within it as well.
All right, I would entertain a motion that we make this adjustment to the zoning for TR 2404.
I'll make a motion.
Those like sign? Thank you so much.
We'll pass along that recommendation for approval to City Council. They will move it forward from the committee meeting, which will occur Monday evening. And so this delay from the November helped us to have the opportunity to get it on the docket for this year and move forward. One word of moving forward, we are looking at next year doing this again instead of having a possibility of having Planning Commission on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving and then not having one because it falls right on top of Christmas, specifically exactly on Christmas this coming year, that we would split the difference. We're looking at doing it again in the first week of December unless you would have any issues with that. Okay.
Thanksgiving's tough anyway, so. Especially if we know ahead of time and get it on our calendars.
And I appreciate y'all being able to be flexible and let us move, and it was my fault. I missed the advertising date, and so this enabled us to get these matters settled this year rather than pushing them out due to my error. So I appreciate that.
Please remember our Christmas parade is next Saturday, the 14th, and that's also the market, so big day in TR next week.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second. Thank you.
Thank you.